The most expensive question in finance. What return will you get me? That's the number one question that ruins a lot of people's financial picture. And it's because that question alone can't be answered or guaranteed by a financial advisor, can't be guaranteed by someone who is registered in the way to help you towards your goals. It's actually the question that's cost more people more money than any financial crash in American history. Let me show you the receipts. Anyone who answers that question confidently with a guarantee, they just failed the question. They just failed that interview. And it's because we know that markets can't be predicted or promised in that way. And while you're interviewing people for the biggest number that they can promise, the thing that's actually deciding your financial future is largely going unexamined. You're not looking at that specifically. So what this is, there's actually a thing called the behavior gap. And what happens is these hedge fund managers and these people that are promoting these large returns, sometimes they fall short and sometimes they underperform the market itself. The biggest risk is buying euphoric. They're buying like on a high. They're like, oh yeah, SpaceX is gonna triple or 10x or whatever it is. Or they sell panic. They're like, Meta is going down or Google just lost or whatever it is. And then they start to buy off of a high and everybody's there, which is typically the top of the market, or they sell at the bottom of the market, which is just like, the absolute worst times to buy and to sell. So sometimes you need to fear more about who's in the mirror than to fear the market itself. And there's a thing called the timing tax. About 1.5% to 2% every year is lost on average per investor, just based off of when they got in the market or when they got out of it, when they entered into a position and when they got out of a position. So timing absolutely matters. There's a famous study that was conducted by JP Morgan years and years ago that is basically, if you missed the 10 best days over the last 20 years, your returns over that time pretty much were cut in half. That's just 10 days of not being in the market at the right time and in the right position. And here's the honest truth. The best days are actually coming out of the worst days. So when the market just drops precipitously, usually the biggest rebounds and the best days happen soon thereafter. The market rebounds sometimes a lot faster than a lot of people want to predict and imagine. And so that means if you panic and you sell and you don't have the right structure in place at the wrong time, then you just may have missed out on the large upswing that you were really waiting for. So a good financial planner, what they actually do for you is they save you from yourself sometimes. The thing is, a lot of panic sets in. There's this thing called the volatility index, the VIX, and it basically just shows how people, what the sentiment is in the market, how people are feeling about certain trends and certain positions. And the thing that a great financial planner, like I mentioned, actually does is prevents you from, or encourages you to not sell at the bottom of the market and not buy at the top of the market. It's keeping you disciplined and accountable because it's not about stock picking and it's not about timing the market. It's just about trusting the plan and not ripping up the plan at the first sight of trouble. You have to be adaptable and adjustable, but you still want to stick to the plan and have a large macro vision instead of being so micro focused on the day-to-day. So you don't pay a financial advisor to beat the market per se. You pay a financial advisor to stop you from beating yourself. So some of the things that actually do accumulate your account and help you to grow your capital is it's going to be your asset allocation or asset location. It's going to be your savings rate. It's going to be your tax plan. It's going to be your behavior and drawdowns. It's going to be your time in markets. It's not about timing the market. It's about your time in the market. And so notice that there's one thing that's not in that lineup of things that grow your account. It's picking the winners. And it's because most people are looking at the shiny object. They're looking at the thing that's going to 10x or 20x. And they're losing sight of the things that are going to keep themselves consistent and conservative, keeping up with inflation and having a good floor so that you don't fall through the floor. So one of my mentors actually explained this thing where it's like, imagine your life in 4 different sections. Imagine the big win, the big loss, the small win, the small loss. Your whole life, you want to avoid, what is it? Which one of these do you want to avoid most? It's you want to avoid the big loss most. If you can avoid the big loss and you can engineer yourself to a way you can be in position to take advantage of the small wins and then position yourself to take advantage of the big win whenever it comes into play, that's going to be the biggest way to be successful or to have your financial picture and outlook be as optimized as possible. Because if you avoid the big loss and you neutralize those small wins and small losses, then all there really is left is those big wins. And you want to keep yourself in position to get that big win. So you should take away that old question, which is how much in returns can you get me? And impart the new question, which is what do I need this money to actually do for me? What do I need this money to do? And by when? So that way you have an actual plan. You have something instead of a fly by night, I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm crossing my fingers that something is going to go up and to the right consistently and astronomically versus having the certainty of the plan that we put together for you. So do me a favor, book a call with us. Talk to one of our representatives. Ask us that question of what do I need this money to do and by when? And we can help you to work that financial plan into your future. I'll look forward to talking to you soon.